Hey everyone, welcome back to Hacky Lessons for another One Piece deck profile, and what I have for you today is a bit of a meme deck, so don't take this to an event you're hoping to win because it can win, it's not very consistent, but it is funny as hell. So if you're interested in playing a deck like that just for fun, give this one a go. Yeah, so I've built it around this Nami from OP04, so I was looking at this Nami and I noticed that her ability is not once per turn and it lasts for the turn. So when attacking, reveal one card from the top of your deck. If the revealed card is a character card with 6,000 power or more, this character gains 3,000 power during this turn. And then place the revealed card at the bottom of your deck. So the important thing to know about building a deck around this card is for it to be anywhere near consistent, a lot of your deck needs to be characters with power over 6,000. So that means you've got a little bit of a dead zone during the start of the game where you can't really do anything. So that makes it pretty inconsistent. And without searches like Perona or Doflamingo, you can't be sure that this will hit something, so it's not always going to work. But because it is not once per turn and the ability lasts for the turn, makes it a good choice in this deck. So red-green Lofi, who has an activate main once per turn, costs 4 Don, but you can set one of your Supernovas or Straw Hat crew type characters with a cost of 5 or less to active and gain 1,000 power during the turn. So that means you can restand Nami, attack again. Let's say you attacked without attaching any Don and the revealed card was 6,000 power, you would go to 6,000, and then when Luffy restands her, she'll gain that extra 1,000, so she'll be 7,000. She attacks again, hits again, finds another character that's 6,000, and that puts her up to 10,000. So that is all with no Don attached. Also helping out for that idea is 4 copies of the 1,000 Sunny. Just so this 4 Don cost to restand is pretty expensive, so you got less Don to attach, so 1,000 Sunny helps that out for a little bit. So you can establish on the board earlier in the game when you got nothing better to play, and then it will always be there. So now we'll go through the cards that are going to be whiffs, the cards that won't work for Nami's ability. So I have 4 copies of Jewelry Bonner, and that is my searcher for the deck. I could run a Straw Hat Searcher, but the Nami obviously can't find the Nami, and the deck is built around Nami. So you can play the event card Searcher, but it doesn't have counter power. So Bonnie she finds Supernovas, so I put a fair few Supernovas in the deck as well. Minimal 2k counters because there's none that are with 6,000 power or more. So I've got Scratchman because he's a Supernova, and Luffy, he is also a Supernova. For event counters, I have 2 copies of Punk Gibson and 4 copies of Bad Manners Kick Course. Now the reason I went for this one is because in this deck I kind of want to tap out every turn. Like, the amount of Don you have left to play with after using your leader ability is pretty minimal, so I want to use all of my Don as much as I can. And the added bonus of this card is if I've already played 1,000 Sunny and I have 1 or 2 in my hand, this can trash it, so that's a good way of getting rid of a bricky hand. So everything else in the deck is over 6,000 power, and that is about half the deck or so. And so looking at first, we have 4 copies of the vanilla Luffy. You can play Zoro, but I like the look of the Luffy better. It's just a vanilla Straw Hat card. That's what it's there for. 2 copies of Rush Luffy. Both of these can be restood with the leader ability. Just about everything I'm about to show you can be restood with the leader ability. 3 copies of the Restand Law. So you could attack with Luffy, you could restand with the leader, and then you can play Law and restand him again. 4 copies of X Drake, and this is just my only real removal in this deck. I didn't want to clunk the deck down with event cards like Jet Pistol because then Nami would be more likely to fail, so this is the best I got for that area. 3 copies of Frankie, so he has Straw Hat traits, so he can be restored with the leader as well, but he can't be searched with Bonnie, so he's the only real Straw Hat that isn't a Supernova I've got in here. The next lot of cards are chain cards, so they'll play something when you play them. So 2 copies of Corazon, aka Resonante. So on play, you can rest him to play a 5-cost green character. So you might have noticed almost all of the characters were 5 costs and they were green. So he can play a good chunk of the deck, and he can play up Law. And what you can do with Law is bounce your Nami back to hand and then replay her, thus protecting her. And then finally, 3 copies of Lofi. So he's a blocker, he's a strong blocker, and he can play out Nami and the vanilla Lofi. And so that is the deck. It is definitely a meme. Don't take it to big events. It's just for casual fun. When it works, it's pretty funny, but it's not always going to work. So yeah, just build that for friendlies or for messing about when you don't really care about the result, and you should have fun with it. So Nami can get up to like pretty big with just 1 Don attached. So if you 1000 Sunny her, attach 1 Don, that puts her up to 5000. So that's enough to attack a leader even if you whiff the ability. But then if you find the ability, then you're up to 8000. Luffy restand puts her up to 9000. You attack again, you find another target, and then you're up to 12,000. And that's only 1 Don attached. So if it works, it's pretty funny, because they're like, how did this Nami get so damn big? Just as easy as that. So that's going to do it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Upcoming deck profiles, including Red Purple Law, are on the way. So I'll see you then.